Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Wisdom and Light, and I am back with another celebrity psychic reading. We are going to be diving in and reading TEKASHI69. So many people have been DMing me, messaging me, emailing me, sending me ravens, sending me doves, sending me, I don't know, everybody has been sending me, hey, are you going to do a reading for Tekashi? And I'm just like, well, first of all, who is he? So I had to Google him a little bit. And let's be honest, I didn't want to read in too deep. All I know is that he is a rapper that is of the new generation, and he got himself into some gang related trouble to where the feds are watching him. I think he tried to put 1.6 or 1.7 million dollars to have bail, but they completely denied it. So the situation is pretty serious. So I wanted to do a reading, but the problem is I didn't really know what to ask because, again, I don't really know anything about him. However, because it was so highly requested, I figured let me just go on Instagram and let me just do it to where you guys ask me what y'all would like to know, and then we go from there. So some of you guys asked some crazy ass questions and y'all had me laughing. Oh, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Wisdom and Light. I do celebrity psychic readings, monthly horoscopes, and we do full moon readings, astrology readings here and there. Basically, whatever that's going on in the cosmos, we're going to talk about it. So thank you so much for stopping by if you're new. And if you're someone that's been here since the beginning, then thank you so much. And if you're newly subscribed, thank you so much again. So without further ado, let's begin. So I opened up my questions on Instagram, and I'm just showing you guys, you guys asked me some questions, and we're going to dive in. So the first question I've received is the personality he portrays online who he really is deep down? That's a deep question. Okay, so is he really who he say he is? Does he show who he is deep down? So let's see. TEKASHI69. TEKASHI69. And then when I'm done answering all of y'all questions, then I'm going to ask what is going on around the case, what's going on around him spiritually. Because he's going through some shit, y'all. It's just crazy. Like, it's just unfortunate. But that's what happens when you roll around with pigs and jump in the mud. That's exactly what happens. What you expect? You thought you were going to roll in the mud with pigs and not get dirty? Come on now. We received King of Wands, Five of Swords in reverse, and we also got Page of Cups in reverse. And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because underneath all of that hype and that rah-rah shit that he likes to do, he's actually a very kind person. He's actually a very sweet person. Now, again, guys, I don't know him from Adam's apple, so this is not the video to bash him spiritually. This is just an overall on what the cards have to say, and because I don't really know him 100%, I can't really, like, I don't know. I'm just not going to be the one to bash him because that just doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't really get any joy to bash anyone on social media. That's just not me, and that will never be me. If I'm going to quote unquote bash you, more than likely you did something really fucked up and you deserve it. But for the most part, it's good vibes, good energy over here. And I do feel like he deflects because King of Wands is in reverse, and that talks about someone that's very kind, very sweet, very generous. But when that card is in reverse, it talks about someone that's a follower more so than a leader. It talks about someone that has to overcompensate for something. It talks about someone that doesn't really speak up for themselves, and if they do speak up for themselves, they don't believe in what they're saying. So I'm going to say yes. And being that we got Five of Swords in reverse, he's in the process of protecting what he has, and he does feel like he's being attacked by wolves. Okay, because we see this illustration is showing wolves coming to mess up the fire that he built. So it's talking about that. And also we have Page of Cups. That's also in a reverse position. So it's talking about projects and things he was trying to bring to the table is going to be pushed back, or it's just not going to happen and get scrapped. So I do feel like a lot of the things that he was working on, a lot of the things that he wanted to bring to the table, it's just not going to happen thanks to this crazy ass case. Is he a positive person? Is he a positive person? 1, 2, 3. I feel like for the most part, he's very superstitious. And I also feel like spiritually is talking more so about him not being a positive person, but he's definitely someone that does what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants. And I do feel like the person that's taking him down in this whole legal case, there's like 2 women involved, okay? And he needs to be careful, or it's kind of too late to say be careful, because I do feel like a female is going to testify against him. This could be that baby mother that he's always dogging out and cheating on. I feel like she's going to testify to the prosecutor that wants him in prison. And I do feel like there's a prosecutor, 1 man, 1 woman, and they're going to be questioning a woman that's close to him about what she knows. And I do feel like she's going to collaborate. I do feel like she's going to tell them what she knows. And this information is going to be kept from social media up until after the fact. So, unfortunately, all of the people that he has wronged are going to come out and bite him in the ass. So basically, unfortunately for him, karma is at work here. Now, we also have 4 of Wands here as well, and it's talking about, is he a positive person? I feel like he's someone that does what he wants when he wants. So I don't think that's a positive or a negative. I just feel like it is what it is. So that's to answer that question. Now, we also receive 4 of Wands too. There's women working against him, so he needs to actually, again, it's too late to say he needs to be careful, but there is women working against him, and they will talk. So that is that's unfortunate. The next question, is he actually involved? Is he actually involved in all of this legal craziness and situations? Is he actually involved? Is he actually involved? Is he involved? I'm going to say yes, because these cards say, these cards talks about business ordeals and transaction gone wrong. Because whenever we see 2 of Pentacles here in reverse, that talks about a business transaction and things, a partnership taking a different turn. And we also got Ace of Cups in reverse as well. So it's almost like the people that were supposed to stand by him pulled back. Now, it's also said that he fired his whole team, this, that, and the third. There were attempts on his life. It's just a hot fucking mess. And it's talking about everything gone wrong. So I'm going to say yes, he was involved. But the energy talks about he didn't think that it would escalate. He didn't think, you see 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Now he's worried about his money. He didn't think that this would escalate and take a different life the way that it did. So yeah, that's what happens when you surround yourself with people that want something for you. And when you have friends that aren't really your friends, they're only really there for what you can bring to the table. I've said this about Chris Brown, and that's the same energy I'm feeling with Tekashi. It's just more so like, these people are not your fucking friends, period. They're not your friends. They're only around you because of who you are and your social media presence. And that's really about it. They don't care about you. And unfortunately, he's learning the hard way, because 8 of Pentacles talks about working on your money and fixing it. But being that this card is in reverse, his money is going to get really weird as well. It's going to get really funky. So that I'm seeing. The next question, would he still do the tour with Nicki Minaj? Will he still do the tour with Nicki Minaj? And let me pull on her energy and how she feels about that. Will he do the tour with Nicki Minaj? That is a good question. Will he do this tour with Nicki Minaj? And that implies if he's actually going to get away with this whole thing. And here's the thing, when the feds are on you, that's just not the energy or pressure you want. The IRS and the feds, you don't want that shit. And I just feel like that's around him right now. So will he still go on tour with Nicki? 1, 2, 3. No. The Tower card came up, so the answer to that question is no. And how does Nicki Minaj feel about recent events? How does she feel about recent events? How does Nicki Minaj feel about recent events? 1, 2, 3. She feels bad for him. Six of Swords in reverse, the Death card in reverse, and King of Swords in reverse. She feels like his actions is the reason why he's in this situation, because King of Swords talks about an outspoken man. It talks about a man that's disrespectful or a little bit mean, assertive, and speaks his mind. Being that that card is in reverse, Nicki Minaj feels like he used what he got popular for in a negative way, and she's just very it's unfortunate. That's the energy. It's not like ha, and it's not, oh fuck him, I'm done. It's more so of, damn, that's just unfortunate. I really do feel like they got along behind closed doors. He was just cool people towards her, so she has no issue or ill intent towards Tekashi. I will say that she just feels bad because the transformation card, the Death card, comes up. This card is in a reverse position, so I do feel like if anything, she feels like this whole situation is holding him back. Almost like your career really could have taken off, but you let this whole situation happen. So that's how Nicki Minaj feels about the whole thing. So it's just, her energy is, damn. That's her energy. So what is the next question? What is the next question that I'm pulling? Will he get life in prison? 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 That's another question from Instagram. The Empress card. The Emperor card in reverse. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Cups. Six of Cups. Eight of Swords. Okay. Will he get life in prison? Will he get life in prison? Guys, I'm not seeing life, but he'll be in there for a while. He'll be in there for a long time. It does not look like this situation. They're not letting this go. The feds are not letting this go. It does not look like he's getting out of this one, guys. Unless some miracle happens and some fucking fairy godmother comes out of the sky and she's like, let's just sprinkle some forget dust on the world and we're gonna make sure everybody forgets about this so that way you can live your life and we can just pretend this all didn't happen because I sprinkled some forget dust and now you can just be on your merry way. Some Mary Poppins shit. Like, I'm just kind of I'm just like derailing, but that's the only way this is going to benefit him, because guys, these cards are not looking good. And the Empress card, which is a fertile woman, so I think his baby mama's gonna cooperate. I think his baby mom is going to cooperate to the persecutor. This is some crazy shit. And again, another pregnancy card comes up. I'm picking up on a pregnancy around him. Somebody's pregnant. I don't know who, but somebody's pregnant, and that's going to come to light as well. But this couldn't be a bad time. And whoever he got pregnant, they're going to break up soon. But this does not look good. And you can see that this looks like someone behind bars, if you can see this card. And then we have Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak card. So I do feel like he will unfortunately serve time. Again, unless some fairy godmother sprinkles forget dust on the prosecutor and the judge and the feds and the government and whatever, then I don't really see this ending well, because there's just way too much pressure on him right now. So that is to answer that deep question. But hey, I could be wrong. It could turn in his favor. Spirit is telling me the only way this turns in his favor is if he cooperates on who he knows and if he spills the beans on who. But it's not going to take away from the fact that he will serve time, because he is looking into life in prison, I believe. But if he does cooperate, just like his baby mom or some ex is going to cooperate that's in her feelings, then this isn't going to end very well. He's only going to get a short amount of time if he cooperates, if he speaks. But even then, I'm hearing 10 years if he is able to help the feds catch the people they really want. Because here's the energy with this card. They want Tekashi, but they really want the person that they want TEKASHI, but they want bigger people. And TEKASHI came across bigger people. He came across like people that have been under the radar for years. They want them. So if TEKASHI can spill the beans on their location, whoever runs a certain type of gang, mafia, whatever the case may be, they will go down, and that will lessen his sentence. So the thing is, though, the problem that I'm hearing is that if he does give them that information, it won't be safe for him in prison, and he will have to be in high security in prison, because a lot of people are in gangs in prison and they know people on the streets outside as well as inside. So it's saying he would have to be in a separate wing in prison for his protection, because he would not be safe if he gives that type of information out. This is some crazy. He got himself into some fuck shit, guys. Some crazy shit. Like, this is crazy. Like, come on. You're supposed to be just doing your music. Like, why must we need to flex and just do all of this shit? It's not worth it. And none of those people that were by your side when you were a part of this or associated yourself with these people, they're not here for you now. This is what I'm telling you, you have no friends in this industry. The more money you get, the more fake people that surround you. And you have to be smart enough to know, obviously, you're not my friend. Obviously, you're not good people. And it's just kind of like, so you're telling me all these rich people like Chris Brown, TEKASHI, all these people have yes men around them? Like, you don't got like no real friends that will just drag you in mess? I mean, come on. Chris Brown learned the hard way. You haven't heard him in no mess aside from baby mama drama. You haven't heard him in any type of mess. So that goes to show you he got lucky. TEKASHI does not look like he's gonna get lucky. So what's the next question? Why does he treat his baby mother so poorly? Why does he treat his baby mother so poorly? And y'all know the baby mother came up a lot in this reading. I'm telling you. She's behind the scenes cooperating. She said, fuck him. He tried me. He disrespected me. Why the fuck not? Why does he treat his baby mother so poorly? Not to be disrespectful towards the baby mother. Okay, so we got 8 of Cups in reverse, 6 of Swords, and then we got 4 of Cups. Then we got the High Priestess card, 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and King of Cups in reverse. So not to be disrespectful towards the baby mother, I'm sure she's a very sweet person, but it talks about her having it talks about her not seeing her worth and not loving herself the way she needs to love herself. And the reason why I'm saying that is because 6 of Swords comes up, and that talks about giving up and throwing in the towel. And the High Priestess card comes up as well in reverse. So that talks about a woman with vision, but she can't see. A woman with potential, a woman with power, but she stifles it because she's waiting. 7 of Pentacles talks about waiting. 7 of Pentacles talks about waiting for something to manifest, and she's been waiting for a long time. And then we have King of Cups. This represents TEKASHI to her. King of Cups is in a reverse position. When we see King of Cups in a reverse position, this talks about a man. You know how when you have a cup of something, more than likely there's something good in that cup, you're going to give it. Whenever a card that has a cup sign in it is in reverse, they're taking it away. So she feels like he takes from her. And also her father did the same thing. So it's a vicious cycle that she needs to have the strength to break. So that's what I'm picking up around her. So I wish her all of the best and happiness and love during this time, because this drama that's going on in the family, they do share a child together from what I understand. It's either she's pregnant or they share a child. I'm not familiar. You guys can correct me down below. But it is unfortunate. Like, all jokes aside, all of this bullshit could have been avoided. And all of this could have been prevented. So it's just a mess. It's so crazy. Okay, so Someone said, will he die in jail? I'm going to off rip say no. Spiritually, I heard no. Another question that I received, will he end up spending life in prison or die young? Oh, that's a heavy question. I don't like to predict anybody's death, but I didn't pick on dying young. I did pick up on jail time, but I didn't pick up spending forever in prison. So the next question is, how does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? 50 Cent, how does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? That's a good question. How does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? Let me use this deck. How does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? How does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna pull out those cards. That's the card that came up. Okay, how does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? How does he feel that 50 Cent turned his back on him? The last card is the Devil card. These were the cards that flew out the deck. The Wisdom card, partnerships and alliances and solitude. So again, he's seeing exactly who is around him and who's there for him and who isn't. If anything, if any good comes out of the situation, is teaching him who he should have paid attention to, and is teaching him a lot of what he didn't know before because he felt like he was invincible. Okay, and this is what happens when young men step into money. They need mentors, they need guidance. Okay, and because he got himself into a situation like that, this talks about 50 Cent and TEKASHI, partnerships and alliances. The last card is solitude. I'm not seeing that 50 Cent turned his back on him 100%. I do feel like they have conversations here and there, but he does feel that betrayal because he's expecting more from him. If anything, I feel like Fat Joe did more mentorship, in my honest opinion, with telling him this before. Maybe 50 Cent told him this behind closed doors, but TEKASHI feels like more than likely this was all for a come up for you because we have 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And 50 Cent's just focusing on his money. 8 of Pentacles. Whenever you get involved with the feds, that's when people pull back. Because, not saying that 50 Cent got anything going on, but you don't want the feds snooping into your stuff because you're associated with someone that got themselves in some really crazy trouble. So I do feel like behind closed doors, he gives him words of encouragement, but he's not going to openly support TEKASHI out loud anymore. We have the Fool card as the last position in reverse. This is 50 Cent's energy. He feels like he would be taking a risk if he surrounds himself with TEKASHI. And again, the Devil card comes up. The Devil card comes up, so he does feel manipulated. TEKASHI does feel like it was just all because you wanted clout. He feels that about a lot of people. You're only around me because you want something. And I don't know, what blows my mind is you didn't see this shit before. You didn't see this before. It's just, or maybe you do have people around you that tell you this, but you didn't listen. Guys, y'all need to listen to your elders. Y'all need to listen to people that have walked a couple blocks down the street that you're on. Okay? Because the people that are schooling you and telling you things, they have already walked through that neighborhood that you just started walking on. They can tell you, hey, there's a ditch right there, or hey, there's a stop sign that's broken on the left. Be careful for that. They can say so many things to protect you and guide you away from it because nobody was there to tell them that. And experience taught them, okay, I'm never going to walk down that path again. So when you are an elder, when you're older, it is up to the elders and people that are older to guide the youth. And whatever the youth does with that information is their choice. But I know for a fact, aside from Fat Joe, he was warned countless times. Listen to the people that have walked that block that you are now beginning to walk on. Trust me, they have already made it to the finish line. They have already figured it the fuck out. And they can school you and tell you, hey, don't go there. They'll tell you the shortcuts, where the pot of gold is. They'll tell you where everything is at to make your experience easier, because they didn't have that when they were walking that path. And unfortunately, Tekashi didn't listen. And now it's catching up and coming to him. To where they're calling up his mom. It's way too much. It's way too much. So let me see if there's any more questions. Is he into Sancta? Is he into Santeria? He is Mexican, I believe. Is he into Santeria? Let's see. Is he into Santeria? I'm gonna pull out 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say yes. These cards are just screaming, I manifest my success. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, 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 yes. And his ancestors also practice. And certain people in his family practice. And I feel like he took on that tradition and he does as well. But Spirit's saying he hasn't been consistent. He hasn't been doing his offerings. He hasn't been doing his prayers and meditation. See, this is what happens when you let fuck shit get in the way and you're not praying and being thankful for what you have. It all bites you in the ass. All of it does. So he needs to start honoring his ancestors when he is inside. If he does go inside, he needs to start honoring his ancestors while he's in there, to basically apologize for the days that he didn't get to do it. How is he holding up spiritually? How is he holding up spiritually? 1, 2, 3. He's imbalanced. That's the word I heard, because we got the yin and yang card. He is planning with his lawyer on what to do to get out of the situation. He is trying to figure it out. They're going to keep transferring him around. He's not going to stay in the same prison for a long period of time. They're always going to transfer him around for his protection. The third eye in reverse. He's not holding up well spiritually, because the door to spirit is reversed, and that is the last position. He's not holding up very well. Okay, that's unfortunate. Someone said nothing. He's a child molester and abuser. Ooh, child. Okay. And someone says, yeah, but I hate this guy. Damn, that's just, ooh. Hate is a strong word, too. I mean, let me know down below on how you guys feel about him. Because at the end of the day, he's somebody's son. He's somebody's child. So I'm not going to just outright be nasty towards him or anything. Does he troll? Yes. Can he be annoying sometimes? From what I've heard from people, yes. I don't care if he's annoying or not personally. Because again, I don't know too much about him for me to say that he's annoying. But from what everybody's telling me, it's like a huge mixture. It's like a huge mixture of emotions. Okay, the last question. Is X still sending him messages to get him to leave town? So basically the question is XXXTentacion, is he still spiritually sending him signs? Because apparently they were friends. And I haven't pulled on X energy in a minute, simply because I want to respect that he's passed and I want him to rest, and I'm not going to keep tugging at spirit and keep tugging at him too much. But I do feel like I'll get a clear answer if I just ask politely. So my question to X, do you give him signs and communicate with him? Does Tekashi communicate with you, being that I know that he's spiritual and the cards confirm yes to Sancta Maria, to Santeria? Yes, he tried warning him X tried warning him. He tried warning him. He tried giving him signs. One thing about X is that he stays around his family and he tries to guide his friends spiritually if they ever need it. So whoever that he was close to that had a very tight-knit relationship with him, he keeps showing them signs when they need it. So he definitely protects his friends and family, and he shows them signs. Like, he keeps showing me signs. And X showed him way too many signs, and he started seeing things before it was too late, because this is the last position. He's warning him about his baby mother. He's warning him about a woman that he's dating right now. He's been trying to warn him spiritually. He's been trying to warn him. And he's acknowledging that Tekashi did not see. Because this card came up again, the third eye chakra in reverse. So X is acknowledging that he was not paying attention to things. And being that the Healer of the Ages card came through, that's talking about, yes, I'm trying to show my friend, hey, I'm trying to reach out. But he wasn't listening, so I had to just be like, all right, cool. So that's the energy that I'm picking up on. It's more so like I tried, and the most I can do is try. But his energy is very focused on his mom and his baby mom, who hasn't given, I think she's going to give birth soon, by the way. I keep picking up on that. But he's more focused on that. He's not really focused on Tekashi. However, he did warn him as a friend, as someone that was in the industry. He did. So a lot of his angel guides and ancestors and X and whoever that has passed that he knew was warning him. Even angels were sending Fat Joe and everybody to warn him now. So it's just, everybody's just kind of like, we tried. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. So now that I'm done answering all of the Instagram questions, okay, I'm going to pull some energy around him right now. What is going on around Tekashi right now? What is more than likely to happen? 1, 2. Tekashi, pull on his energy. TEKASHI69. TEKASHI69, pull on his energy. Okay, it's talking about negotiating and talking. It's talking about his lawyers working really hard, the caring connection card. It's talking about him doing, I keep seeing him moving his family, moving his mom. He's trying to move her in a different space where she's protected, because his biggest concern is his mother right now. And I do feel like whatever relationship that he's in, whatever little girl that he was on live with, they're about to break up soon. Okay? And I feel like this is going to break him spiritually as well. The contract card comes up in reverse. So this means prison time. This means you have to serve a contract. And prison is technically a contract. You have to complete it. You can't breach it. There's no bail. You got to do what you got to do. And I do feel like money's going to be put on the table to lessen his sentence. And I do feel like he has an option to cooperate and get the bigger fish in. He does have the option to cooperate so he can lessen his time. But it's talking about if he does that, he will have to be in high level security in prison. He can't be at the low level, because the inmates will fuck him up, because whoever they're trying to catch, they're a bigger deal than Tekashi. Okay, so here's what's interesting. I feel like Tekashi, unfortunately, is just a piece of this puzzle. I don't feel like they're after him 100% as much as they're after the leader and who he was listening to, who his peers were taking orders from. Tekashi is a big success, is a big win, but at the same time, they want the bigger fish, and they know for a fact Tekashi will cooperate, and then that in return will lessen his time. But Spirit is saying if he doesn't cooperate, because he's debating on cooperating or not, if he doesn't cooperate, then he is looking at a long time. But if he does cooperate, and y'all see that he gets 10 years or 12 years or 5 years or 15 years, understand that he cooperated, okay? Because if it's not more than 20 years to life, then he spoke. And other people got thrown in jail that they actually wanted. So it kind of looks like Tekashi is just a small piece of this puzzle. They want the big fish. They want the shark. Tekashi's just someone that got in over his head and entered a situation that he had no business entering in. And now, because Tekashi has a big name and because Tekashi is a big deal, prosecutors and the feds, they love shit like that. Again, guys, this whole reading could be bullshit and I could be wrong and he could actually walk away from all of this, but from what I'm picking up, from what I'm seeing, from what I'm feeling, all these cards, no. If he doesn't cooperate, then it's a no. And even if he cooperates, he's still going to serve time. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to give me a thumbs up if you really enjoy it. And leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And I will talk to you guys later. Mwah. Bye. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah.